Got a few screws loose since the days of my youth. There's a few screws loose. Man, you know what's crazy though, right quick, is like talking about aspirations and dreams and whatever. I I I want to say at 16 years old, once we started making music, like just basically in the bedroom making music with equipment that wasn't technically supposed to be used in the way we were using it, right? So we had an old Yamaha DJX keyboard. We used that as a sampler. We used a 2-track CD burner as basically a 2-track recorder. Man, like just the innovation right there and knowing what we needed as far as for the final product for a final mix and being able to make it with minimal equipment, right? So now we have no formal training in music. I did play the piano, took piano lessons, violin, same with that. Played both of those, and to me, that was just something to do. It's like, okay, yeah, this is just something else I know how to do. Of course, I was one of the quickest ones to catch on in both piano and the violin, but never really gave a shit until it came time for us to make our own music, and I started enjoying it. I'm like, damn, yo, we're pretty good at this. So that was actually I want to say one of my first aspirations was to make music at 16 years old. Now this was like back in the days of analog gear. So this is before you can just load a computer application like FL Studio or Adobe Audition. We were straight up using analog hardware, which takes a whole lot more skill and a whole lot more practice than using any of this computer software these days. So that was
Well,
actually
you remember, like we used to make the beats, right? Remember, I think DJX only had like 5 tracks you can put for a whole beat, right? And you remember we would have to key the drum beat, the entire drum beat for the entire length of what the song was going to be. There wasn't no looping. We would do a drum beat and hit the keys,
real time.
You know, cymbals, hi-hats, bass drum, kick, everything, real time breakdowns, everything. You know, the change in the beat for the bridge or whatever you call it now, in real time. And if you messed up 3.5 minutes in, you got to do that shit
start over
all over again.
Yo, man, that and for those of you who are actually kind of into, I guess, audio recording, you would know if you're recording something real time and you get 3 minutes in and fuck up, you're gonna fuck up 3 minutes in again and again and again, and it's gonna take hours to lay a 3-minute backing beat. So yeah, that shit was way harder. But that was one of my first aspirations, man. Like make music, and then yeah, I ended up getting better and better and better at it, and got introduced to Centrillium's Cool Edit Pro. Back in the day, it's called Adobe Audition now, but before Audition, it was called Cool Edit Pro. I did some work at a local studio down here, and I'm like, yo, this is what I want to do.
Is that when you met Fifth Ward Weeby?
Fifth Ward Weeby, yeah, them and man, I don't like to talk about that place because the motherfuckers owe me a lot of money, man. So I never ever. There was like one episode of Black Law when I said the name of the studio, and then I went back and censored that shit out because fuck them motherfuckers. They owe me a shitload of money, yeah. Motherfuckers.
Let's go ride on them busters.
For real. Motherfuckers sold a lot of shit that I was in there like playing with on the keys. Cause you remember the Trinity and the Triton keyboards? Motherfuckers turn around and sold shit that I recorded in there, man. Like, it wasn't even shit that I was particularly going to use for anything. But, yo, you don't sell other people's shit and then take credit for it. Like, man, fuck y'all motherfuckers. The motherfuckers owe me some money, huh?
They need their asses beat. That's what they need.
That's almost happened. Motherfuckers got a whole bunch of security cameras installed, too. Like, in case this crazy motherfucker comes back here. But
you should go into the studio on the camera and just piss on the equipment.
Man, shit's so cheap. So no, nowadays they probably wouldn't give a fuck. But yeah, man, that was my first aspiration though, was music, man. So can you recall what your first aspiration was as far as what you wanted to do with your life?
Man, I mean, I guess cutting hair. I've been cutting hair since I was a teenager.
You fucked my
I
hair
probably
up.
should have well, that was yours, believe it or not, even though I didn't tell you this at the time. Yours was the first head I ever tried to cut. Ever. So I got your back, man. I cut your hair. Man, I fuck your head up.
Man.
And the first time I ever did a temple taper, first time I ever did a fade, it was my brother in the bathroom at the apartment. He was like, hey, man, can you give me a temple tape? I said, yeah, man. He said, you know how to fade? I said, yeah, man, I do that shit all the time. I ain't never done a fade before. So the whole time I was cutting his hair, I was like, young, if I mess up, this nigga gonna fuck me up, But thankfully, I did a good job.
Man.
But I'd say that cutting hair was probably my first actual thought of what I wanted to pursue as a career. Yeah, I mean, I can't really think of anything else besides I consider going to the Marine Corps early on. I mean, when you considered the Navy,
Yeah.
and I think you considering the Navy is what made me consider Marine Corps.